네, 안녕하세요. 케이입니다. 반갑습니다. 오늘은 저희 한국어 수업에서 사용했던 교과서를 시험들에게 보겠습니다. 시작해볼까요? Hi guys, this is KM and today I'm about to show you the textbooks or the Korean textbooks that I've used when I formally studied Korean way back then and I attended Korean classes. This year, or specifically this month, May 2022, marks my 10th anniversary. So it marks 10 years since I first formally studied Korean. I first attended classes at the Korean Cultural Center. So during my era with the Korean Cultural Center, I attended the basic Korean class and it made me decide whether to study Korean formally or not. And that alone made me convinced to venture into study Korean. So eventually, May 2012, going back 10 years ago, I started studying Korean by attending the elementary Korean class, elementary Korean 1 to be exact. And then it was followed like a couple of seasons later or semesters later, I attended the elementary Korean 2 class. And then way back late 2013, I attended the intermediate Korean class, in which these classes are labeled levels 1, 2, and 3 respectively. So going back, it was really both an easy and a difficult experience for me to learn Korean because of some differences like the writing system. The writing system wasn't much of a problem to me, but it was how I picked up all of the lessons, and the pacing was just right for me, and at the same time, it was too fast for me. So because I was a slow learner at the time. Anyways, after I attended all of the three classes way back then, I began self-studying by 2014 and then took the test of proficiency in Korean, which is more known as topic, and my peak passing level was level 4. Yeah, so level 4 is intermediate Korean to an equivalent, and out of the 6 levels of topic, so I reached level 4 by just a shy of like 1 point, 1 or 2 points. But anyways, I'm still learning Korean up to this day, but not so much since I've got other things to think about and do. So I've got more priorities than studying Korean now, but I do not forget the language. I don't forget the language, I also use it on a daily basis. My phone is actually set to Korean language so that I can familiarize myself with the language, and yeah, the rest are history. So, are you excited to see my Korean textbooks? Well, let's get into it. The first textbook that I've ever used during my elementary Korean 1 class way back 10 years ago was this. So this is the Canada Korean for Foreigners Elementary 1. So this is equivalent to the elementary Korean 1 level or level 1 in topic. So it has a disc inside, but I took him out and put it on my CD or CD cassette stash. And this is actually an old edition. So this was released or printed way back. When was this one printed? Um, 1997. So then I've used it for both my basic Korean and my elementary 1 classes. So here, as you can see, I would like to show you some of the few pages. So it was easy, however, it's a bit outdated. And it also has with this one. Yeah. So this was a very useful book to me, and I cherish it a lot. And then when I took elementary Korean 2 class, I've used its sequel book. Yeah, elementary 2. Yeah. It's a bit thicker than the first book, and it also has some CDs on it, 4 CDs to be exact. And it follows the same pattern as the first one. Yeah, conversations, and then vocabulary. Yeah, but this is the old edition. There's a new edition in which I will show you later on. So, So these two books actually solidified my Korean skills so far. And then in late 2013, so the third semester or the third quarter of 2013, I attended the Intermediate Korean 1 class. And in that class, I've used these books. Yes. So it was a bit of a jump for me, like a big jump for me from Canada, and then I'm going to use the Fun Korean book or the Jemin Hangugo series. Anyways, it was a great experience meeting this book or reading this book. So I would just like you to show the format of the book, which appears to be like this. There. So there's a conversation, there are questions and there are conversations, and then we have vocabularies on the side, then activities, yeah. It's divided into three topics with 5 chapters each, and then this is the workbook in which I answered already in class, so I actually wanted to preserve it, but yeah, got some writings on it, yeah. So there we go, and there. Unfortunately, I didn't pass the intermediate Korean class, yeah, because I was a very slow learner at the time. So by 2014, as a result, I decided to self-study so that my pacing for learning the language will be much easier and more comfortable. With that, I bought this new edition of the Canada Korean for Foreigners from my classmate in intermediate Korean 1 class, to Charles. So he sold me this one, and I'm stuck in this book. So compared to the first two, so the format is a bit different, and of course it's updated. It goes like this. I will just show you the format. Yeah, so there's a conversation, and then translation, and then some of the words, and then grammar points, which the grammar section is my favorite part of the book, and then yeah, activities. It also has a disc, so I removed them. Same with the Fun Korean book. It has a disc, 2 discs, and along with that, I've used the Fun Korean 4 textbook. Yeah. I've self-studied the entirety of this book, and so far so good. When I left the Korean Cultural Center, this was the exact book that they used in the pilot intermediate Korean 2 class. Yeah, I already left the center, so yeah, I wasn't able to take advantage or avail of their classes. So these are the books that I use. So they're so heavy. I cannot really carry heavy stuff that much for so long. And there you have it. So what are those textbooks that you have used when you studied Korean? I'm curious to know. And yes, so far I've learned a lot in the process of studying the language, and I will be forever proud to have learned this very wonderful language. So, what do you guys think? Are you learning or are you studying a foreign language right now? And what are the textbooks that you're using or learning materials that you can show to us? This has been Kayan, and see you guys on the next video. What's this? What is the sorcery? Why do I look so good on camera? Isn't it about the lighting or my styling or the shirt that I'm wearing? I don't know. Why? What is the sorcery? Why? It's not filtered, everyone. What's happening? I cannot dim the lights. The background, I just cannot. I'm trying to click somewhere else. I don't know where. What? 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 What the heck?